push them into this world. Because I always tell my children, when my sons look at me and they say, Pops, I want to be just like you. I tell my sons, no, sir. I want you to be better than me. I say I made too many mistakes in my life. So you look at my mistakes, you learn from my mistakes, but you got to be better than what I am. So I said to myself, when my son said I'm having fun in a junkyard. This came from a junkyard. I want y'all to understand this. From a junkyard. That's probably how my life was. Most of my life, we come from junkyards. Because I didn't fall up out of heaven. I came straight up out of hell. So we're going to see a little bit about my story and why this book is important to me. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. You know, if anybody out there on Facebook from St. Louis, I know I got mad love for y'all. St. Louis family have been showing a lot of love for the book, a lot of support. And we definitely going to be coming down to St. Louis for a book signing real soon. You know, that's my hometown. Born and bred in St. Louis, the streets of St. Louis, on the west side, of course. And, you know, I love St. Louis. And, but I grew up, I dedicated the book to my mother. My mother died about almost a year ago. You know, she battled with cancer for many years. And I was blessed to do the eulogy at my mother's funeral. And that was a very emotional, very trying time for myself and my family. But I dedicated the book to my mother because I always told my mother over the years, I said, one day, Mom, I'm going to make you proud of me. You know, one day I'm going to put a smile on your face. I'm ready to take you places that, you know, we're going to travel. You know, where you want to go? You know, she said, I want to go to Africa. I said, I'm going to do that for you, Mama, you know. And because my mother, growing up, my mother had 5 children. She was a single mom for the most part, you know, and, you know, she was pretty much in the streets. And unfortunately, you know, like many of our parents, you know, she struggled with drug addiction. And for a long time, you know, to myself, that affected my thinking and my perception of self. Because my mother had struggled with drug addiction. And like some of us, sometimes we judge ourselves based on our experiences. And not the good experience that we go through. Sometimes we judge ourselves based on our bad experiences. And we look at ourselves as though we're unworthy. So for many years, I have accomplished a lot in life. I have been teaching for over 25 years. I have helped tens of thousands of young people throughout America in the schools. We're one of the school teachers here. I've been blessed to go to her school, talk to hundreds of her students. And I've done that for the most part out of the kindness of my heart. It's something that I love to do. Volunteer my own time. I've always had my own businesses. I always grind on my own to take care of my family. But I've always done that out of the kindness of my heart. And now it has gotten to the point in my own life where I look back on my life and I look back on the struggle that I personally endured in my own life. You know, when I was 16 years old, you know, like many young black men, we made poor choices in life. I wound up going to prison, getting locked up. I was facing 50 years to life in prison, but they didn't give me 50 years of life. Thank God I wouldn't be here. None of my children wouldn't be here. None of y'all wouldn't be here if I got 50 years. You know, I'd probably just be getting out on parole right now. But that was in 1988. And I was locked up in 1988, August 28, 1988. And I didn't get out to 1995, right before the Million Man March. I was blessed to attend the Million Man March. And that march had really affected my thinking. I had one daughter at the time. My daughter was born in April of '88, Anissa. She's in St. Louis. She's 28 years old now. And she's born April of '88, so she was a little girl. And I remember as I was being sentenced, my daughter and her mother and my father and, you know, one of the FOI brothers, Brother Rafiq, who's down in Texas right now, they was in the courtroom. And my baby girl, she was a baby, and she was crying as I was being taken away in handcuffs. And I remember, you know, a tear coming down my eye because I knew that I wouldn't see my daughter again for a long time, you know. Originally, they gave me 15 years, but when I went to the camp, the older brothers and that who knew about the law, they just work on my case and get back 5, you know. It's some jailhouse lawyers that's off the chain up in there, you know. And they was able to get back 5 of my years, and I didn't have to do the whole 15. So I just had 10 originally, did 7 on that and 3 on parole. But when I got out of prison, man, that prison experience was a rough experience. I'm talking about in 7 years, I spent almost 48 months of solitary confinement. That means I was locked up in a cage in a small cell with rats and roaches 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When I got out of prison, psychiatrists told me that I should be crazy, literally. Because I was in this small room, sometimes butt naked, sometimes with nothing on. And they were trying to break my spirit. They did everything they can. I was very rebellious and radical as a prisoner. I started reading all this political information.